It is the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're here every single day from 5 to 6 talking about the local issues that matter to you most and taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222, your emails at randykabc@gmail.com, and search for the KABC News Blitz wherever you get your podcasts. It's Friday. It's been a long week. It's time to enjoy ourselves. And I've got some really fun things to talk about because I all of a sudden have become a very social person. All of a sudden, I have been going out and about and going around town, and motivation is a very interesting thing. You know, I am very comfortable with staying at home on the weekends, maybe making a cocktail or two while the wife and I watch garbage reality TV and sit with the dogs on the couch. That's a good time. You know, I love cooking at home, and we do cook at home a lot, and we love it, and it does save us a ton of money. But motivation is an interesting thing. See, I have quite a few credit cards. I've talked about them before. And I have, as one of my main credit cards, that Chase Sapphire Reserve. And they recently revamped their program. And part of revamping their program is they jacked up the annual fee. I mean, it's not cool, but all the companies are doing this. Amex jacked theirs up even more, so my wife has to deal with that. But this card, which I think the annual fee used to be like $400 or $500. Now it's $795. And that's a lot. But the thing with that is now I am motivated to do everything I can to maximize the benefits that this card gives me because I have to make it worth it. Otherwise, I am eating that $800. So I have been with like a microscope going through all the benefits that this card gives me and using them. Because if I use them, I will go way past that $800. And just in the last week, I think I'm doing pretty well with it. For one, tonight, my wife and I are doing something we don't usually do on a Friday night, and we're going out to dinner. And the reason that we're going out to dinner is because one of the things that this card gives me that I have to use by December 31st is a $150 dining credit. What does that mean? It means that you connect this card with Open Table, and then there's a selection of restaurants in Los Angeles, apparently very hard to get into restaurants, where they have specific tables for this card. And so if you use your card at one of those restaurants that you booked through your connected Open Table, well, you're going to get $150 back on your statement. So it's almost, I mean, if we're responsible, it's going to be a free dinner. We'll probably go a little above, but I will report back next week. Pretty excited about this. So I get to do that twice a year. And already, if I can do that twice a year, that's $300 out of this $800 annual fee. There's a $150 StubHub that you get twice a year. I don't know what to do with that one yet. I'll look up some tickets for something. Problem with that is good luck finding 2 tickets for anything on StubHub where the total is $150. But, you know, I'm not losing hope. You get a $300 annual travel credit, and that one gets eaten up pretty quickly because booking a hotel will do it. Lyft and Ubers will do it. Going to a hotel bar will do it. More on that later. And then, of course, they've also revamped their point system. And I had a ton of points banked with them because I think I got like 60,000 as a welcome offer. And then I would use the card for things. And this is a card that I would use for big purchases, like, I don't know, a tax bill. That wasn't pretty. And I have had 100,000 points sitting there. So let me bring you to last Friday. No, actually, it was last Thursday. I had gotten an email from the winery that I'm a wine club member of up in the San Ynez Valley, Fiddlehead Cellars. My wife got an email from the wine club she's a member of in the Santa Ynez Valley, Foxen Winery, saying that our shipments were ready, and we typically do pickup because we don't want to pay for shipping, and because if you do ship, which, this is a 2-hour drive, so it's feasible. If it's a winery up in Carmel, that's not going to be feasible to just drive up and pick up. But the problem that we have when wine gets shipped to this house, and it happens so often, it is infuriating. Somehow, the UPS guy knows the exact 1-hour window where nobody's home. And then because it's alcohol and you have to sign for it, they can't leave the package there, so they leave a note. And then you call them and they're like, oh, we'll bring it tomorrow. And then they don't bring it tomorrow. And then you have it's such a hassle. So for the wine clubs that we can go pick up, we go pick up. But, gives us an excuse to go enjoy those memberships. Because one of the fun things about being a wine club member is when you go up to pick up your shipment, or when you go up whenever, you're going to get a free tasting. Got to, again, take advantage of those memberships. It's all about taking advantage of these things that I'm already paying for. I do a 6-bottle club with Fiddlehead twice a year, and I get a nice discount, and it's really great wine. But the more I go up there to enjoy myself and enjoy a few tastings and bring some friends or family for tastings, well, now that's paying for itself. So typically what we've done over the last year or so to save money is we do a day trip up there, go up in the morning, drive around to a couple wineries, and don't drink too much, drive back. But now that I was going through my app with all of my points and trying to figure out how to maximize them, I just was curious. Look up the hotels. Because usually what we would do is my wife would use her Hilton account and go book the Buellton Hampton. And the Hampton in Buellton, it's a Hampton. You know exactly what you're going to be getting. But it never seems to be a good value anymore. I don't know if it's that Hilton has devalued their points, or the area has gotten more expensive and it's not that big of a hotel. But unless you book that well in advance, if you're going to pay cash, it's going to be over $250 a night, which that's a lot for Buellton. Or if you're going to do points, it's 60,000 Hilton points. And I know Hilton points are valued differently than other points, but still felt like a lot for a one-night stay. So I'm going through my Chase app, and again, they've revamped their travel portal. They have this thing now called Points Boost, where certain hotels, they'll give you 1.5 your points, 2 times your points. So I'm looking at it, and it's wait a second. The Buellton Marriott, which is right next to the Hampton in Buellton, is only 17,000 points, and I've got 120,000 points. That's a pretty good deal. There were some other hotels, nicer ones, that we get for 30, but 17,000 points is nothing. If you spend correctly, you could earn that in a month or two. And I had it sitting there. So I was you know what? We're going to do this. Why not? Totally last minute. And maybe that's part of why it happened that way. Maybe it's because it was last minute, or it was the day after Halloween. But we booked this one-night stay at the Marriott in Buellton, which we haven't stayed at since the first time my wife took me up to wine country in 2014. So booked that. Again, didn't have to spend anything. And of the points that I had, I used a tiny percentage of them for this room. Drive up there, no traffic. Beautiful day. And the first thing that we do is go tasting at Foxen. And Foxen is a legendary winery up there. Bill and Dick have been making wine since 1985. And it is, of all the wine clubs that we are a member of, and we're a member of way fewer than we used to be, you really get treated special there. First off, if you go on a Saturday, they have a special clubhouse at the Foxen Shack where it's for club members only on Saturday. So you can still do your tasting at the Shack for free, but you can also do a different tasting with different wines inside the clubhouse. And the clubhouse is a good time, and they let us bring the dogs in there. So we got to do a tasting at the clubhouse, free, because we're members. A tasting at the Shack, free, because we're members. And a tasting at the proper winery, which is just the next door down, free, because we're members. And of course, we picked up the wine. And because some of the wine was so exceptional, we had to bring some home with us. So we got a couple of bottles. And we always, especially when we're, just going to pick up or we're just doing tastings, even if we're not going to buy, we make sure to bring 20s. We always like to tip the person pouring for us because they're so sweet to us and they're so nice. Craziest thing happened. The time we went before, nobody else was in the clubhouse. This time we went in, there was one other couple in there. We waved to them, made a comment or two. We were sitting, having a lovely time, trying that Foxen Dry Farm Tinnaquac Chardonnay. Just exquisite. Perfection. I love it. One of my favorite Chardonnays. And this couple walks in, and they're looking for a place to sit down. And, we're in a friendly mood. And so we're like, well, there's 2 chairs right here if you don't mind sitting with us. Total strangers. We don't know them, but we know we all like wine. Over the next 5 hours, my wife and I get to know this couple. They're a little older than we are, but we're all from the LA area. And we do the tasting at the clubhouse. We do the tasting over at the Shack. And then we all walk over and we continue to do the tasting. We did 3 tastings with these people and got to know total strangers for like 4 hours. We were at one winery for almost 5 hours. It was the best time. And it turns out this guy who was an attorney and now he's part of the Woodland Hills Homeowners Association. He has done like town halls with his association with politicians. And he's like, yeah, find my interview with Lindsay Horvath on YouTube. And I'm like, oh, okay. He asked me what I do. And I mentioned what I do. And he's like, oh, KBC. Yeah, I listened to that at night. Who are you? It was the greatest thing. Guy listens to the radio station, but only in the overnight. So wasn't aware of me or the Noon to 3 show, but listened to the station. And he's kind of involved in local politics. So we just had the best time, did something that is so scary to do, but like traded phone numbers and made new adult friends. It was a beautiful, wonderful time. So yeah, we got there around 11:30 and we left around 4:30. It was a good time. It was wonderful. We picked up our wine, riding high. How much fun. We made new friends. Then we go down, check into our hotel. First off, I found out on the car ride up that my wife's Amex gets her Marriott Bonvoy Gold Elite or whatever it's called. So we got her upgrade and we called ahead, said we had dogs, service animals. So they put us on the ground floor in a beautiful room. We check in, we unpack our tiny little bag because we're only staying for the one night. And this place is walking distance to the Hitching Post. I've talked about the Hitching Post many times, and I will talk about the Hitching Post till I'm blue in the face. It's one of the greatest restaurants ever. We walk to the Hitching Post. My wife and I decide we're going to split a steak, split 2 salads, and because we, walked around quite a bit and we felt like we wanted something special, we were going to get the baked potato. And we got their bone-in Angus rib chop. And it is such a fabulous piece of meat. It's something that I could not do at home because it is so big and so thick and bone-in. I don't have the patience to grill something like that, but the crust on it, just incredible. The seasoning at the Hitching Post, which you can buy, and I have it. It's just the best. And we were looking through the wine list. And what's fun is you can do a tasting while you're waiting for your dinner of the Hitching Post wine. So we did that. Tried 3 of their Pinots. They were excellent, as they always are. They get to source really good grapes. And then we had to pick our dinner wine. And we looked through the big wine Bible, and there were a few older cabs that we could have picked and some older Syrahs. But we were like, really love the Hitching Post wines. They had a Syrah that was $45 for a bottle, which is pretty darn fantastic nowadays. And we got that. I think it was a 21, maybe a 22. It was perfect with our steak. And not only did we have a wonderful dinner, we did not break the bank. So walked back to the hotel room. And what's great about this hotel, unlike the Hampton, nothing against the Hampton, but this hotel has a hotel bar, a hotel wine bar, where turns out if I buy wine at that wine bar, it counts as part of my Chase travel credit. So free wine. But we did some wine tastings with some wines that we're not super familiar with. My favorite ended up being a Hitching Post red blend that they had for like $8 a pour or something. It was great. My wife and I are sitting on a couch in this bar with the dogs. The World Series is on in the background, and we're not really paying attention to it, but everyone's really excited because at this point it's in extra innings and the whole room screams when the game ends. And it was a wonderful time. Love that hotel. We, in the morning, get up, go to Solvang, and usually what we do is walk around Solvang. It's a great, maybe get a mile and a half in with the dogs. It's just fun to look at all the stores. It's so quaint. It's so Danish. It's so sweet. My wife found this giant park in the middle of Solvang called Hans Christian Andersen Park. We ended up doing like a 3.5, 4 mile hike. It was great. The dogs were loving it too. The weather was perfect. We then had some time to kill, went back to the hotel room, packed up, went back to Solvang because there's this wonderful shop that's like perfect for stocking stuffers. And the holidays are coming. It's the Solvang Spice and Tea Merchant. And not only do they have great teas, and my wife likes to get their spice chai, and her sister's really into teas, so that's a great stocking stuffer. But they also have all these incredible spices, and so we got some for us, got some for stocking stuffers for the family. Then we had a couple hours to kill before our fiddlehead appointment. We walked over, and Solvang, let me be honest with you, Solvang is always fun. Solvang has really cool shops. Solvang is a beautiful place. It has some very nice hotels. For a long time, most of the wineries at Solvang proper were like, they're okay, they're good, but they're not the level of winery you're getting on Santa Rosa Road or even in the Lompoc Wine Ghetto. That is until Almarosa moved there. Almarosa, which originally Richard Sanford had Sanford, then that got bought out. He started Almarosa, and they were there on Santa Rosa Road. They ended up moving to the Industrial Way area a few years ago, but they moved out of there, which that whole area went away. There's nothing there but that restaurant Industrial Eats, which is great. But now Almarosa has a tasting room right there on Route 246 in Solvang. It is a beautiful outdoor tasting room with fire pits, and there's like a cheese shop next door. And we loved Almarosa for many years. Haven't tasted it in a while. We're so blown away and so in love with the tasting room there that we joined. Small club, I think 6 bottles twice a year. But we joined because we want to go back and we want to taste there at night when the fire pit's going. Plus, if you're a member, you get complimentary tastings to the El Habali Vineyard, and they've got a little shack up there. So that just sounds like a great time. So very excited about that. And then I was so enchanted with the idea of now we have a free tasting room in Solvang because we're members. We really should. I've always wanted to stay in like my wine country dreams for Santa Barbara County. We've done Buellton plenty. One night I want to stay in Solvang proper and just do Solvang. And one night I want to stay in Los Olivos proper and just do Los Olivos. That's harder because there's way fewer hotels. But in Solvang, there's this beautiful hotel called the Hotel Cork. It is exquisite. We've never stayed there, but we've always wanted to. It's one of those bucket list hotels. And I just happened to, while we were sitting there at Almarosa, open up the Chase app, and I see, hey, what's Hotel Cork doing in mid-December? And I find a beautiful room with a king bed at the nicest hotel in town for like 30,000 points. Like nothing. Points boost. Booked it. We're doing that. Then we drove off to pick up at Fiddlehead, and Fiddlehead has moved. They're not in the Lompoc Wine Ghetto anymore. They've moved to this barn that's like 2 streets over, and it was the cutest thing in the world because we're sitting there tasting what is my favorite wine in the region while watching chickens and guineas and turkeys, and it was a good time, and the dogs were obsessed with the chickens. We had a wonderful, wonderful trip, drove back. Somehow there was no traffic. I think we left early enough, but it was a great weekend. And then that inspired me to start really paying attention to the next big thing to use with all my credit card points. And I'm going to tell you about that yet because a major thing is happening this winter. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. 1-800-222-5222. It's happy hour. Enjoy yourselves. I'm about to tell you my next big adventure. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC, and have I got something for you? Get those dialing fingers ready. 790 KABC welcomes OAR at the Greek Theater on August 8th, 2026. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com, but right now, caller number 9 at 1-888-790-5222 gets a pair of tickets to the show. Tickets furnished by Live Nation. Good luck dialing. When we come back, I've got a major announcement about my next big adventure, for vacations. Not like I'm changing jobs or anything. I'm here for quite a long time. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. It is the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're here every single day from 5 to 6 talking about the local issues that matter to you most and taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC. 1-800-222-5222. Your emails at randykabc@gmail.com and search for the KABC News Blitz wherever you get your podcasts. It's Friday. It's been a long week. It's time to enjoy ourselves. The weekend is in front of us, and I have so much to look forward to. This year is going by so quickly, but I've got so much to look forward to. Tonight, we're going to go take advantage of that dining credit and go out to a fancy restaurant we've never been to before. Driving into Hollywood on a Friday night, I don't think I've done that in a long time. I wonder how bad traffic's going to be. Probably terrible, but, we went into Hollywood on Wednesday to go see Moulin Rouge, and it wasn't too bad. So we will plan accordingly. But after that, it's so wild to think about this. Like, I know November just started, but all we've got is next week and the week after, and then it's Thanksgiving week, which I won't be here. I will be taking the entire week. I always take Thanksgiving week off because you're going to get 2 days anyway. Most jobs get Thanksgiving and Black Friday off. So it's like, if I use 3 of my vacation days, which I have tons banked because I don't take nearly enough of it, and then I get a whole week off, which means I don't even need to lug my laptop to Santa Fe. And we always do Thanksgiving in Santa Fe. It has become a family tradition for, I think this is the 8th year, something like that. And oh my goodness, part of the fun there is not only is the whole family there, and we love the food, we love the drinking. In fact, another quick one. My wife has a thing on her Amex called a Resi credit, where like once a quarter you get, I think it's $100. You get $100 credit with anything you book from the Resi app, which is like a competitor open table. And there's only like 3 restaurants in Santa Fe that take Resi, and one of them is the Compound, legendary restaurant. We went there, and unbeknownst to me, we went there to hang out at the bar. And for me to try the schnitzel, which I will never get again because it's way too much food, but it's legendary. It's so good. It was so good. But when I paid for that with my Amex Gold, I got $50 back. Well, we're going to pay for it with my wife's card this time, and we got $100 back. And I don't think the bill is going to be much more than $100 because we like to go there right when they open, sit at the bar, and they have this really cool bar. Those old school bars where like the bartender is a step below you? Oh, it's a good time. But we're going to split a salad, have a couple cocktails, and that one will be free. And then we're helping to maximize the $800 value on her card. Again, these fees will kill you unless you are maximizing the card. And I guess one of the fun things about maximizing a travel card is it gets you wanting to travel, just for the pure motivation of you don't want to be wasting money. So we're going to be there, and that means, of course, that we're going to be in Santa Fe for the day after Thanksgiving, which is the tree lighting ceremony at the plaza, where every tree on the plaza has different colored lights. It's magical. One year, it literally started snowing the second they turned on the lights, and my niece was like 1.5, and she I don't think she knew what was going on, but she was really good at like making motions to tell you she liked something. So she would kind of push her hands together, and that kind of meant more, more. She really liked the lights, more, more. So that's happening. Then we're back, and I think we're doing nothing for the first week. Then that second weekend, we're going back to wine country at that fancy hotel, solvanging it up. Very excited. Our cousins from San Diego are going to join us on that one. Then we're back for a week, and then that's it. Then the holidays are upon us. Now, you might remember, I told you earlier this year about my plan for the end of the year. If I could make it work, if I could find a way, this was finally going to be the year that I got my butt to Europe. And I have good news. I've told you about this app that I use called Seats.Aero, where you can not only just look up like LAX to and literally put Europe and put a specific day, see what the deals are. And for the most part, there's not going to be too many, depending on how far ahead you're looking, because it's like with flight availability for points, especially if you're looking for business class, it's like it's either got to be a year out or like 3 weeks out. But one thing that you can do on that app, and it's the reason that I pay $10 a month for it, is you can set alerts. So what you can do is say, okay, this is the day I want to travel. This is where I want to go to. Here's the rewards program that I have. So I have a bazillion Alaska points, and I want to go to Europe, and here are the days that I'm thinking of going. Any of these days will work. So I set up an alert for one day. I set up alert for another day. I set up alert for another day. Didn't think anything of it. Went on with my life. My whole thought was, okay, after Thanksgiving, the deals will start showing up. People start canceling. Their plans change. I mean, believe you me, I have had to cancel Christmas plans many, many times. But the funniest thing happened on Monday morning. At 5:30 a.m., got a text. And that text was from my alert that I had made for Seats.Aero, that one of the days that I wanted to travel, there was now availability for 2 seats to fly business class from LAX to Dublin for 70,000 points each. The reason I use my Alaska program is they don't typically base the miles based on like demand. It's almost like it's by the actual distance traveled. And 70,000, I think, is as good of a deal as you're going to get for business class on a 10-hour flight. And so my wife is getting ready to go to the barn, and it's not even 6 a.m. And she's like, I got the alert too. And we're like, do we do this? And we're like, well, yeah, we do this. Because one, when you book flights with points, they're refundable. So if the worst happens, well, we'll get them back. But two is like, let's do this. This was the whole idea, to be whimsical, to find a deal, get to Europe, and then figure out what else is going on from there. In the days since, we have started to plan somewhat of an itinerary. It's still very loose. But what we're planning to do is hit 3 different countries over 9 or 10 days and then fly back. And that'll be our nice little introductory taste of Europe. Again, I've never been to Europe, which also means I've never been to Ireland, which also means I've never been to Dublin. And this is where you come in. I'm sure there are plenty of world travelers out there. You're listening right now. Whether you want to call me at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. You want to email me at randykabc@gmail.com, and feel free to email me all weekend. If you've been to Ireland, what's fun to do there? What do you like to do in Ireland? Have you been to Dublin? Have you been to Ireland? What are some things you would recommend? What are some things you think I should avoid? I'm trying to figure out how to maximize my 3 days in Ireland. So I'm opening up the phones right now. If you've been to Ireland anytime recently or ever, and you want to rave about it, you want to tell me to avoid certain things, I'm going to be spending 3 days in Dublin this December. Tell me what sounds good there. You can email me at randykabc@gmail.com or give me a call. 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. I'm looking for suggestions on what to do in Ireland. So that's one of my legs for my trip. I'll reveal the other legs on future shows, but just for today, I want to talk about Ireland. I have been dreaming about a trip like this for a very long time. Seems like a magical place to enjoy part of the holiday season, but I know very little. I know that they have beer, and I know that they have whiskey, and I know they have potatoes. But other than that, I don't know much. So if you have ever been to Ireland, if you want to recommend something I should do in Ireland, in Dublin, give me a call, 800-222-KABC. 1-800-222-5222. And at any time, email me your suggestions at randykabc@gmail.com. I'm so excited about this trip. It's going to be great. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. We're taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. I am going to Ireland later this year. What should I do? If you've been, give me some ideas. Let's go to Barbara in LA. Barbara, hello.
Hello, how are you?
Doing great.
So my husband and I have been to Ireland twice. We loved it. And if you're just going to have 3 days in Dublin, then I would highly recommend that you go to Grafton Street. On one end of Grafton Street is a lovely park to walk through with fountains and everything, and you walk through Grafton Street, which is shops and cafes and restaurants, and it'll be gorgeous at the holidays. At the other end is Temple University, and you can go in and see the Book of Kells at Trinity College, Dublin.
I've heard of that. I've been watching a bunch of videos. Apparently that is like one of the things you have to do if you're in Dublin to see the Book of Kells.
Yes. It's small, but it's beautiful, and it was all hand done. Remarkable. Absolutely remarkable.
I wish I could time travel to 6 weeks from now so I can just go, because that all sounds so much fun. I'm seeing all the pictures and videos of how beautiful the city's going to be lit up around Christmas time. There's going to be Christmas markets. I am so pumped. I want to do a pub and music crawl. That sounds like a dream for me.
Oh, we love the pubs, yeah, and music. Oh, my goodness, and there's a place downtown to eat, and I'm sure your hotel will know. Boy, if I could remember the name, it's one of the oldest pubs in Dublin, and they'll know it. The oldest pub in Dublin. And that was fun, and it was good. But
well, I'm going to check that out.
Street and stop and see the Book of Kells at Trinity College. It'll be beautiful. Enjoy travel.
Adding that to the list. That's good. Incredible, Barbara. Thank you so much for those recommendations. I'm writing them down right now. 800-222-KABC is the phone number, 1-800-222-5222. I'm going to Ireland later this year. If you've ever been and you want to suggest what I should do, give me a call, 800-222-KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. I'm going to Ireland this winter, and I'm getting your suggestions. Let's go to Dennis in San Pedro. Dennis, hello.
Hey. How you doing tonight?
Doing great.
Yeah, I like this subject. I've been there twice myself, and I'm not sure if you're a whiskey drinker, but it's usually on the top 5 on the list. But the Jameson Brewery is definitely worth some time.
That's right up my alley.
Oh yeah, no, I mean the whole history and what goes into it, and it's very interesting. And anyone listening to this that's been to Ireland, another obvious choice is called the Cliffs of Moher. Have you heard of that by any chance?
I have, and we're trying to think if that'll make sense because we've only got 3 days, and it's like, a 3-hour drive to get out there. But I saw pictures and video of it. It's breathtaking. I can't imagine what that looks like up close.
And you just answer your own question. Once you get there, it's totally worth it. Yeah, definitely.
All right. Good to
And
know. We might have to add that to the itinerary.
yeah, those are two obvious choices. And were you thinking of renting a car at all?
We're not sure yet. We're not sure what we're going to do.
They do drive on, they drive on the opposite side of the street. Driving in the city, it does get a little hairy, but once you get out of Dublin, pretty much anywhere you go, the scenery is just amazing. So you just can't go wrong that way. And you'll like certain parts of the U.S., you can visit small towns along the way if you're onto your destination. So those are three things right there, and there's plenty more. There's a bar, I think it's called the Church Bar. It used to be a church, and there's literally a bar inside there now, and indoor and outdoor seating. That's just for the experience. It's worth going to the bar.
That kind of thing sounds right up my alley, and I'm going to see if the cliffs make sense this trip. If not, we'll go next trip. But oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Thanks so much for all the suggestions, Dennis.
Least I could do. It's right up my alley. Have a blast.
Thank you. Oh, I'm so excited. And this is something, probably of all the things that I've learned from my radio partner, John Phillips, the thing that he has taught me that is just like a mantra for life is book your vacations in advance. Know when you're going on vacation, because every day from the day you book that vacation until you take it, you have something to look forward to. Every night when we go to bed, I'll be like, well, we've only got a month and a half until this. We've only got 3 weeks until that. And usually it's, 3 weeks till Santa Fe, which, by the way, 3 weeks till Santa Fe. But now it's like, yeah, in 6 weeks, we're going to Europe and we're going to Ireland. Oh, it's so exciting. And another fun thing that we do now is, the world is so interesting. It used to be, if you wanted to learn about travel, you'd have to, get a book. Then it used to be there was the Travel Channel. Now I can just type into YouTube Ireland at Christmas and see all kinds of videos with all kinds of different people, whether they're amateurs or professionals, shooting footage, showing you what it's like and things to do. And I'll be doing this a lot over the weekend. Thank you all so much for listening. Have a wonderful weekend. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC.